Yo, welcome back, guys. It's Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall. We're back to perfume reviewing, and today we've got another real versus clone comparison. And I know you guys are excited to hear about this because it's either you're interested in the original or you're interested in the clone. Either way, we're gonna go talk about it today. We're gonna talk about the original Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. Extrait. This is the more concentrated version, and in my opinion, better than the other one. And we've got Dua Fragrances Casino Royal Nights. Okay, so these two we're gonna go review today. I want to first and foremost thank Pedro, the owner of Casino Royal Nights. I want to thank all the friends of the channel that actually sending some stuff in for me to review. One of which are Duas. As you guys know, the likelihood that I'll actually purchase a clone when I already own the original is kind of low. But if you would like to send in your Duas for me to compare with the originals, feel free to send it over. I'll reward you with something, all right? Or we'll talk about it. All you got to do is contact me through Instagram if you want to send in your Duas for me just to test out with the original. So Pedro right here sent us a bunch of Duas. I want to thank Pedro. This is the last one from his lot. I'm going to go send this back to him with, of course, some goodies because, obviously, thank you, Pedro. Now, let's talk about this real quick. Baccarat Rouge 540. If you guys remember, if you're like an early OG follower of the channel 4 or 5 months ago, you'll know that this is my recommendation for first niche ever, right? There was Parfums de Marly Layton, there was Tom Ford Oud Wood, Aventus, but for me, the real best entry point into the niche world is Baccarat Rouge 540. Okay, why? Because the notes combination of this is just a total shock. It is not something that you can predict if you're used to purchasing other designer perfumes, for example, or even cheapy perfumes. The note combination here is very, very new. If it's the first time you've ever smelled the combination of the almond, the jasmine, the saffron, ambergris, all of that together makes it a really, really unique experience, in my opinion. And because the Extrait, which I suggest you buy over the normal one, has such a beastly projection, probably because of the synthetic ambroxan to create that ambergris effect, this one's a winner right here. Okay, and let me say this, guys. If you guys are looking for perfumes, I'm kind of not the type of person that says, sample everything, sample one by one. Sometimes you lose the excitement. It gets boring doing that, to be honest, because if you sampled it, you bought it, it's okay, it's a bigger quantity of it. But I think, to me, nothing beats the actual surprise of going with your gut, researching, going with your gut, looking at the notes, looking at what I say or other people say, and then making a gut decision. Because to me, there's something that's better than just sampling, and that's your gut and your experience and your excitement. Sometimes that adds up to such a great experience when you finally get your perfume and you're like, wow, this Baccarat is amazing. And that's exactly how I felt when I got this. Okay, so Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait, really, really awesome perfume on its own. One of my favorites. Now, the Dua version, all right, that came in from Pedro, he hasn't used much of this. Okay, probably what's that? Almost 5 ml. All right. Why? Probably because it's beastly. This one right here, I have to say, is incredibly close to this one right here. Okay, you guys know me, guys. I'm very, very no hype, impartial. If the thing is not that close, you saw me do that with a bunch of the other comparisons, I will always say it's not that close, or I'll even say, dude, it's not, it's super far off. But this one right here, guys, I had to really like stick my nose really close to my skin to try to find any type of nuances, but this one was kind of difficult. The saffron, the almond on the opening, like I said, for both of these, incredibly close. I mean, I was thinking like, okay, maybe because there's the oils in here, that would be kind of different. Maybe the Baccarat 540 had like a better quality of oils or something, but overall, like I couldn't really. I would say it's like a 99% on the opening. Okay. And then of course, after all of that, you have the woody, kind of like this woody jasmine, next part of it, which is, if you like, if you, some people say they hate jasmine, but for me, this one just goes well with this. I mean, the Baccarat or the Casino Royal Nights, it has almost like a cherry, sort of like a cherry super sweet effect. That's just, it's nice. It's really nice. Like I said, if you've never experienced anything like that, I think you'll be shocked. Okay. And they develop almost the same as well. This one I've worn more recently because I've been trying to test this, and the longevity of this one, it's pretty long. Now, one thing I wasn't able to test really was the beast mode side of this one. Okay. This one I know is a beast. Okay. When I sprayed 4-6 times, when I was such a noob when I first got this, I was just like, on my first like couple sprays, I was like, what happened, where's the smell? So I did like 4 more, like a total of 6. I basically choked out an entire restaurant, and my kid hated that. But the Casino Royal Nights, I'm not sure if it's as beastly as this, but I think performance wise, the longevity, I definitely tested this one, and this one goes on and on, like 8 hours plus. And it projects quite nicely as well. And again, super duper, it's super similar. I have like one beside each other on my each of my wrists, and like literally, it's almost like smelling the same damn thing. Okay. Now, one thing I will say, if there was a difference, it's probably like how the dry down happens. The dry down of Baccarat Extrait, has musk, woody notes, as well as some ambergris in the form of ambroxan. And this is where it kind of changes a little bit. This one right here kind of, you could say like kind of like crumbles, or it gets slightly messy now on the dry down. And this one, yeah, it just maintains like a smoothness on that dry down. But here's the thing, like, would you really buy Baccarat for the dry down, right? That's the thing I gotta say. Okay, would you really buy Baccarat Rouge for the dry down? Hell no. You're only doing Baccarat Rouge because of the beast performance, mass appealing factor, and projection, longevity. Dry down doesn't really matter. It's that first part where it captivates the wearer, captivates people around you, and that's what that duo is for. Okay, so I got a compliment duo here. This one here is very close. Like I said, one of those close ones, just like that YSL. That was nice too, La Nuit. And it's close to this. If you are on the kind of like the budget for, or you're out of the budget of this one right here, because it's quite expensive, this is really a good, it's a really good alternative. Like, you really won't miss a thing. You will really feel, I guess, the same feels of owning the real Baccarat Rouge Extrait. Okay, only difference, like I said, dry down. But again, who cares about that part? Like the projection is really what matters. The mass appealing factor. This one really has it. So good job, Dua, for that. and that's really amazing. So this is the last of basically Pedro's stuff that he sent me. Again, thank you, Pedro. Don't forget to check our playlists of the battles and the real clone comparisons, because most of those are actually Pedro's and other friends of ours. And again, if you want to send something in, I mean, I will really compare them. You know, if you guys have the clone of Valiant, Boadicea the Victorious, yo, send it over. One thing I noticed though, when it comes to these comparisons, guys, with Dua, is that the more complex the fragrance is, the more the clone isn't exact. So we did like Pure Distance M, and the other one I forgot the name, and that wasn't really close. Maybe Ani wasn't really that close either to me. But I guess the other ones like Baccarat, like that one's really more on point. Aventus Cologne. So I'm really looking after those really complex ones as well. We have a Spirit of Dubai coming in next week. So if you guys have the Spirit of Dubai clone, man, I would love to try that, guys. So, you know, hit me up on my Instagram, and I would love to compare them. No hype, really. Like, I'm ready to admit if things are really, really close or they're not. So in this case, like I said, you have a winner over here, and they always have their, you know, the Dua, you know, discounts. So you really save, in my opinion, when you do this stuff. And I believe this is the same blend that they use when they do their like hybrids or tribrids. So really, really good. I'm excited to try some of their tribrids very, very soon as well. Okay. Now, if you're more on the niche collector side and you don't want to own clones, then yeah, go ahead, get the Baccarat, right? But it's like $400. All right. So that's it, guys. This is my comparison of Casino Royal Nights from Dua Fragrances versus Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is just no hype, like I said. And again, thank you to Pedro. Make sure you check out our playlist of comparisons, because we have a bunch of comparisons there. You know, it's really nice. And make sure you subscribe, and we're going to do more videos, obviously. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Troy D. Take care. Peace.